My name is Abe. I was Employee of the Year. Now I'm dead meat.
Pull a gun on me again and you're dead meat.
Dead meat! You might actually beat me. You really think so? Hell no! You're dead meat.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror video games. I'm Zoran. I hope this doesn't hurt, Gavoyich. And today we're about to get minty fresh and psychologically scarred with Mouthwashing, released in 2024. The game follows a crew of space truckers on a year-long haul aboard the spaceship Tulpar, who unfortunately end up crashing. What follows is psychological horror in the truest sense, as you assume the roles of multiple ship captains and slip deeper and deeper into madness. Created by Swedish studio Wrong Organ, whose Swedish origins are a bit suspect.
We're a Swedish game company. We have like 2 Swedish people on the team.
Vurk de Vurk! Well, as it turns out, the founders all met at a Swedish game development school called Future Games in Stockholm. They were all in the same class for game design, where they created their first game, How Fish is Made. A game that used esoteric storytelling to explore grand concepts like the illusion of choice. For their next game, Wrong Organ wanted to try a more direct narrative structure, while still keeping things in their strange existential wheelhouse. A few key aspects were present very early on in development that included a sunset in space, retrofuturism, isolation, and non-linearity. Originally pitched as Twin Peaks in space, some other early media influences were Alien, Skinamarink, Event Horizon, and even the contained alcoholic madness of The Lighthouse. The game took about 15 months to make, with the core team growing from 5 to 7 people during its production. That's it? All right. And with such a small team, everyone kinda had their hands in everything. And that's why when you look at the end credits, there's no specific roles for each of the members. They're all just members of Wrong Organ. The game was published by Critical Reflex, who's making a name for themselves in the indie horror space with games like No, I'm Not Human and Teleforum, whose sound design makes my skin absolutely crawl. Yep, there goes my skin. The game was released in 2024 to overwhelmingly positive reviews, and to an even more overwhelming amount of really good fan art. I mean, look at that one, and that one. Oh, that one's too sexy. Oh, that one's not sexy enough. The game has sold over 500,000 copies and garnered numerous award nominations, even taking home the Horror Game Awards Best Narrative Game trophy. So I think it's time to find out what this game's all about. But first, let me tell you about today's sponsor. Hey, thanks for meeting with me, Ben. Okay, so I'm thinking for our sponsor, Opera GX, I'm gonna rebuild the entire set in order to showcase how it offers GX mods. You know, they can create a fully customizable browser with unique fonts and icons, plus personalized background music and sound effects. You know, sound effects like keyboard clicks and tab opening and closing sounds. Oh, not to mention, there's dedicated wallpapers, splash screens, and shaders. I don't know, I think the whole thing's gonna be like 100K.
Yeah, we can't afford that.
Okay, yeah, fine. You're right. I'm reining it in. What about this? When I'm talking about the built-in ad blocker and VPN that keeps me safe from the horrors of internet trackers, I represent that with a custom-built horror game, but, you know, one where I'm hunted by ads, and maybe we get the voice of Mark Hamill and... Oh, okay, yeah. I can tell from your expression. How about when I talk about how it's easy to escape your old browser and import your browser history, bookmarks, cookies, and Google Chrome extensions straight into Opera GX? I create a personalized escape room where me and Mark Hamill have to saw each... All right, fine. I guess, why don't I just turn off the set lights when explaining how Force Dark Mode lets me turn off the lights on any web page, before I then tell everyone how they can go to the link in the description to get Opera GX today, and give a big thanks to Opera GX for sponsoring this video, which I will then do for my own personal spaceship.
No.
Ugh. Okay, fine. Then I'm not gonna do the sponsorship then. Where was I? Ah, yes! Mouthwashing is an intimate and incredibly well-written story that slowly unfolds non-linearly. This element keeps you disoriented by jumping around time and shifting perspectives between unreliable narrators. And I'm gonna say it now, if you have not played it yet, I recommend experiencing it for yourself before watching this kill count. It only takes like 3 hours. In fact, it's short enough that James and Chelsea were able to finish it in a single live stream.
It's a lot darker than I was expecting.
Yeah.
And they don't mean that it's so dark we need a night vision camera to count all the bodies. This game absolutely wallows in the gray areas of human nature, diving into some heavy themes like capitalism, alcoholism, and even sexual assault. Yeah, not the carefree game I was expecting, but Mouthwashing is an absolutely shining example of creativity and complex storytelling that I have never experienced before. I, for one, cannot wait to see what developer Wrong Organ comes up with next. Will our 60 minutes with Mouthwashing be able to kill more than 99.9% of the crew of the Tulper? Let's find out and get to the kills. The game begins in low resolution 4:3 space. Calming chiropractic waiting room music plays as text lets us know the Pony Express long-haul space freighter Tulpar and its 5 crew members are on day 147 of their 382-day journey. Any other info before we start?
I hope this hurts.
Okay. Oh, what have I gotten myself into? The game then glitch transitions us to the cockpit, 0 days before a crash. The computer instructs us to steer left of an orbital body. All right, seems easy enough. We'll just, oh God, this is already so stressful. With no other option, we steer right into a collision course with some monetary consequences.
4,000 credits docked from crew pay package for failure of navigational staff.
I didn't know! How could I have known? We're told to engage the autopilot, but it's locked. And since this game has no tutorial at all, I wasted 5 minutes just looking around, clicking everywhere before quitting and starting over, thinking the game was glitched. And then, after another 5 minutes of clicking and looking, I had a breakdown. That is until I accidentally pressed the S key and moved my character. I am such an idiot. We use our newly discovered legs to grab the emergency key and an employee ID for Anya, who kind of looks like Shelley Duvall, which was completely intentional, as this game takes a lot of inspiration from The Shining and its abusive protagonist's slow descent into madness. Back at the console, ooh, it looks like we can order a tab. And while we wait for our discontinued soda, we use the key to engage the autopilot. What? Oh, this is already so stressful. I do not need any more stress in my life. I'm already trying to teach my child not to bite. See this? He will not let go. With no other option than to press the big red button that should never ever be pushed, we solidify our crash course and then head out into the endless corridors of the ship. We pass numerous safety posters featuring the Pony Express mascot, Polly. I love the style of these retro safety posters, but I don't love that the corridors keep going and the posters keep multiplying until Polly himself makes an appearance alongside, yep, crying babies. Crying babies, and I hate it. Things continue to get creepier and steamier, but not like in, like a sexy way. As we keep running and emergency lights come on. Oh, and Polly starts to look like a Child's Play 2 Chucky doll. Finally, we get to a locked door and, oh, horse Jesus!
Mouthwashing is very much more the psychological horror. It's the disturbing nature of the environment, less so like jump scares.
Liar! Luckily, the screen flashes to white and glitches us forward in time to 2 months after the crash. It's revealed that our character's name is Jimmy. Just Jimmy. He's the co-pilot for the Tulpar and is currently surrounded by the rest of the crew that survived the crash. And just like with James and Chelsea's playthrough, we're going to be providing the voices for this voiceless game.
I'll handle it. Hang in there, Daisuke.
But slightly less literally goofy. Let's see, who do we got here? There's perpetually worried medic Anya.
Are we doing the right thing?
Gruff mechanic Swansea, who's not too happy with the last-minute intern he got saddled with by Pony Express.
Then there's that teeny bopper thinking only with his downstairs long nose.
And that long-nosed listener who looks like Pulse's Ryosuke Kawashima is good-hearted but a little naive intern Daisuke.
The real problem is running out of toilet paper. Oh, fatal stuff, man.
I mean, he's not wrong. Anya suggests we get into the cargo hold to look for more supplies, but only Captain Curly has a code scanner that can gain access. Jimmy then declares,
I'm the captain now.
And we go in search of a code scanner. Nope, nothing in the strawberry meatball machine. And I love the kitschy 70s vibe of this common room. They're specifically designed to be in contrast to the cold metal exterior walls designed to mimic an old submarine. This idea was to highlight the absurdity of the design of the ship, where the company's idea of giving the crew comfort is always done in kind of a soulless, ineffective way.
Everything is supposed to be uncomfortable.
Exploring the room, we see it's coated in emergency foam that kind of looks like delicious popcorn. Yum, 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 yum. Oh look, and Polly's here to give us some advice.
Polly says, another day in paradise, yay!
Ooh, a fellow Phil Collins fan. I like you, Polly. We head down to the utility room to find Swansea just kinda resting his arms on his belly. He says the utility room is off limits, since it's full of that emergency foam that kinda looks like the stuff. Also,
if I breach that foam and break the air seal, it's lights out for all of us.
Oh yeah, we do not want that. I did not like that movie. The short was much better. Over in the medical room, which was modeled after a dingy middle school nurse's office, complete with a middle school Zoran bedroom door vent. Hey, stay out! I'm playing Die Hard in here! A corkboard on the wall gives us a look at Anya's photography skills, as well as Daisuke's caricature of his boss Jimmy, aka Yimpy. Aw, that's like my Yames drawing.
That looks nothing like me.
Over on a bed, we see a badly beaten body from the game's startup screen. And this is the ship's original captain, Curly. No longer able to speak or walk, the only thing keeping him alive are his pain meds. Meds that Nurse Anya is too uncomfortable to give him.
You did make it through nursing school, right?
Okay, don't be a dick, Jimmy. Anya suggests we look for the scanner in the cockpit, and pads our ego a little to get us to do it.
You're so capable.
She also requests that we serve Curly his non-coconut-based painkillers. So we click to open his jaw. Oh, I hate that noise. We give him the pills and are treated to a black screen with horrific audio. Oh, so uncomfortable right now.
Everything is supposed to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's what I want. Be uncomfortable. Get enough of that when I read the comments. We head back to the common room to talk to Anya, who's wondering why Curly crashed the ship. Because the game wouldn't let us steer left, lady. Anya wants to believe that there's still some good in old Captain Curly Q.
I have to believe that our worst moments don't make us monsters, Jim.
But the whole situation just doesn't sit right with her.
I'm still feeling nauseous.
Oh, I think you mean nauseated. See, nauseous means you make others feel nauseated. Ow.
Don't be that guy.
Don't slap me, slap Strunken White.
I have.
He slapped a corpse. 2 of them. Anya then disappears. Spooky. And we head to the cockpit to search for the code scanner. All right, let's take a... Whoa! God, did a Marshmallow Man fuck in here or something? Okay, no need for that black light on the floor. I can see all his fun fluff without it. Oh, that's the code scanner? Okay, well, we somehow managed to pry the scanner from the floor. Oh, and get the hell out of there. Somehow, everyone sensed we'd succeeded in our texted task and gathered by the cargo hold. Oh, and Daisuke's so excited, even his text is shaking. Don't worry, buddy, we'll open it. Calm down. We use the scanner to reveal the code. All right, 4517. 4517. And we plug it in. 69. Damn it! We then put in the right code and gain access to the cargo hold, which must have been full of chronoton since it jumps us back to 7 days pre-crash. The nonlinear storytelling was something narrative designer Johanna Kasurinen wanted from the start. After getting an overall story, she put all the plot beats and scenes onto post-it notes, so the team could visually see how and when the time jumps would happen, as well as shuffle them around and try out different orders. A lot of effort went into figuring out what character knows what at each moment in the game, and even more importantly, what the player knows as well, putting it all together like a big old logic puzzle. We've now jumped into the POV of the non-injured Captain Curly during his psych evaluation with Nurse Anya. Whoa, wait, she's the medic and the psychiatrist?
Pony Express sure knows how to cut corners, if nothing else.
Well, yeah, that's just good. Business! That's
my bear! Bulldog!
Anya must have been sick during the doctor-patient confidentiality lesson, since she shares results of Jimmy's evaluation with Curly.
I have found myself sexually excited by the sight of cartoon horses.
Hear me out. Huh?
It's because he's pantsless, isn't it?
Yeah. All joking aside, Anya is bringing up this inappropriate comment from Jimmy to her superior because it made her feel uncomfortable. Of course, Curly's response is just to laugh it off and say that Jimmy's being Jimmy, having been friends with him for many, many years. This kind of good intention downplaying that is unfortunately very common and very human makes him an enabler of Jimmy's actions, which is further proven when he jokes about it later with Jimmy himself.
I want to hear all about those cartoon horses. Now, is that something you were born with or a recent development?
All right, shut up.
I'm gonna say they really need an HR person on this ship. What about you, Polly? You up for it?
Polly says,
"Show me on myself where he touched you."
Well, that's even worse. Luckily, Daisuke's evaluation is less brony-coded.
Brownie-coded?
No, brony-coded.
But I want a brownie.
I know you do. They're in the kitchen, buddy.
Oh, okay.
Okay, not the ones on the top shelf under the lock.
Oh.
those are my special brownies. They're just extra chocolatey. But it doesn't instill confidence, as he describes his internship as
awesome, super cool, and like totally awesome. Like really awesome.
Is he secretly a Ninja Turtle? Anya then gives Curly a note from Swansea with 3 exclamation points, meaning he's pretty pissed about something. So we take a look at our future bed and opioid addiction before heading to the much cleaner and calmer common room. The bright sky is in direct contrast to the orange sunset that is stuck on the screen after the crash, an image that helps separate the time jumps and symbolize the sun setting on the crew and probably their lives. We stop by the still empty coffee machine. Damn fine coffee you don't have here. We then go to the utility room, which has basically become an Ibiza foam party.
Sorry, let me help you guys.
Turns out Daisuke triggered some Demolition Man foam while trying to fix the use in case of an Alan Rickman attack vent. The foam is also blocking one of the 4 cryopods designed to save the crew if anything goes wrong. Daisuke was a last-minute add to the crew, having been forced to get a job by his parents, and Pony Express didn't bother adding another pod for his safety. Yet another example of the company's neglect for its workers and the underlying theme of capitalist ruin.
It's the idea of just being like a cog in a machine that as totally doesn't even know you exist, and that kind of in itself is terrible, but there's not even like the direct meaning to hurt you. It's just like the way that the wheel kind of rolls.
With no 3 seashells to clean up this mess, the only way to get him out is with an axe that's locked behind a case that only we have the key for. But before giving the angry man a murder weapon, we're gonna take a look at his library. All right, wait, these are just those cardboard books you have at furniture stores. Well, I guess that adds to the clean and organized nature of his workspace, showing that Swansea's actually pretty good at his job, having been with Pony Express for over a decade. He still doesn't like people touching his stuff though, but he has set up a little test board to help train Daisuke in the basics of engineering. Aw, guess he couldn't put a do not touch post-it on his heart. I absolutely love the attention to detail that Wrong Organ put into every character, giving them so many layers. In fact, they even went as far as to echo each character's traits in their favorite Pokemon. For example, Swansea's Herdier is a gruff trainer like him, and Daisuke's ditzy nature picked a Digimon. Oh, and Curly probably chose Pikachu because it's the only one he could name.
That's not true, I love that little fucker.
Further evidence that Swansea's heart is as soft as his belly can be seen in the photo of his dog, which was actually modeled after the developer's neighbor's dog, Jackson. And originally, Kasurinen wanted the dog to be on the ship, but that idea was eventually axed. Just like Daisuke is, after we free him from the foam. All so he can take a moment to inadvertently insult his boss.
You can't fit in there to fix it, right?
Captain, give me the axe.
We do, and I'm sure that it will definitely not come back to bite us in the ass. We then meet up with Jimmy, seeing him for the first time in his overalled unshaven glory. After telling him to meet us in the cockpit for his evaluation, he agrees and disappears. Okay, yeah, first question will be whether he and Anya are ghosts. We head to the cockpit, which, isn't there anymore. Okay, just a large empty void.
Echo. Was an average show.
With no option but to jump further into this hallucination, we land in a blood pool filled with emergency signs and shoot so many ladders. We then run into the sunrise that outer wilds out into a white void. We leave the Matrix to do Jimmy's evaluation that the game just dips to black past. This is because originally the game had you doing the full evaluation. However, the question-answer format was way too tedious. Kind of like those after-match Fortnite surveys that I get. No, I don't want more fishing! After the survey, we get a really well-written and heartfelt scene between Jimmy and Curly.
I think, am I figured out? Is this all I'll ever be? Or do I take the risk and try something new, even if I'm bad at it?
I guess I get it. You reached the highest rung on this ladder, so now you're thinking you might be on the wrong ladder altogether.
Curly wants a better life, originally taking this job as a stepping stone, as revealed in his first appearance in the How Fish is Made DLC. Turns out he got comfortable and eventually resentful, being solely defined by his career as a good captain. And he allowed the fear of trying something new to paralyze him from making a choice. So he played it safe, doing the job he knew that he was good at. Jimmy, however, seems to be preoccupied with status, annoyed that he's not as good a captain as Curly, and sick of people singing his praises. He also mentions that he enjoys being in control, unlike when he was back on Earth and had some mysterious troubles. Jimmy then comes up with the pretty good metaphor for making hard life choices.
How come it always seems like you're standing on the edge of a bridge with your feet in cement?
I mean, I'm sure we've all felt this way, and that's why this scene is incredibly relatable for those that have been doing a job for so long and wonder if that's all they can do, or maybe if there's something more.
Zoran! I just realized that's your 7-year anniversary working for Dead Meat, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's been that long?
Uh-huh.
Where'd the time go? Actually, since I've been playing this game, I've kind of been reevaluating things, and been here so long, I'm thinking, maybe it's time I try something new?
No, it isn't.
Okay, but if I...
Blow your candle.
Okay. A message from corporate interrupts Curly's existential crisis, and as soon as we read it, the glitch takes us to, slow down that exposition text there. Is that ectatinrusible seal? No. Atek yetaperfornolibili. Kate P. Sirifsatiliban? You know what? Yeah, we'll just say we're in this Russian Kate lady's house. We wander down the endless shelves of boxes, past the Ark of the Covenant, and towards a television with, a red highlight. No. Why's it gotta be red? Red means dead. Okay, well, here we go. We turn the knob to find out that they really do have it all on UHF. If by all, we mean some public domain cartoons about capitalism and Disney's black hole movie that no one remembers. Never forget Vincent! You know what, let's see what else is on. Oh, an ad for Dragon Breath mouthwash. Fire freshness. And this ad was originally only made for the trailer, but the team loved it so much, they put it in the full game. The ad then glitches us 2 months after the crash, revealing what the crew found in the cargo hold. And boy, they are not too happy.
This is what they had 5 people hauling for over a year? All of this for mouthwash?
I mean, what did you expect? Square pigs? Before landing on the titular mouthwash, the developers considered having the crew live off of hand sanitizer, rubbing alcohol, or just straight up hard liquor. But mouthwash had the vibe of being the worst and most absurd option. And when asked, the team says that the mouthwash tastes like blue, even though it looks more green to me. I mean, am I crazy? No, you're not crazy. Thanks, mouthwash. Should we kiss? Seeing the 14% alcohol content of the mouthwash and realizing all the years he spent away from his family and dog were for nothing, Swansea unfortunately gives in to his baser urges.
You hear that? That's the sound of 15 years of sobriety popping like a cyst.
Oh, I'm good. Continue.
A glorious, magnificent, red-hot cyst.
Oh, yeah, sorry, you missed it. Swansea then shares a sweet fatherly teaching moment with his intern Daisuke, even if it's a little misguided.
Anyone ever teach you how to drink like a man?
There was actually a point in Swansea's life that he took pride in his sobriety. According to the developers, Swansea is a sneakerhead and would celebrate each year of being sober by buying himself a new pair of kicks, which makes his decision to throw it all away that much more heartbreaking. We then jump back into the non-sneakers of Curly, 6 days before the crash and a week after he received that mysterious message from corporate. He goes to share what he learned with the crew, but instead they surprise him with a birthday! Pony Express only allows their crew to celebrate one communal birthday per trip. Another way the company tries to be comforting, but in reality is limiting the rights of its employees. In fact, they even withhold sweetener packets if the crew's performance isn't up to their standards. And another layer of bureaucracy is that Curly is the only one who actually has clearance to make the cake. So I guess we'll hop to it right after we rock out to another track from this incredible score.
Yeah, this is fire. Did I say that right?
The score for Mouthwashing was composed by Martin Halden. Each piece was instrumented specifically for a scene, except for the main theme, which was a mix of the Twin Peaks theme, The Pure and the Damned by 10 Tricks Point Never, and A&W by Lana Del Rey, which is also where Jimmy gets his name. Mouthwashing's main theme was meant as a mood piece, a calm before the storm, hinting at what you'll experience before you've even begun playing. Before we make the sweetener packet, we learn why it's been limited.
I hear they used to provide unrestricted amounts of sweetener and karaoke machines for hauls. Things got violent.
Well, it wouldn't have if you didn't sing Kid Rock's Picture for 3 damn days! We managed to make the cake. and then take the cake over to the table. Everyone wants us to make a speech, but instead we black out. And when we come to, we've apparently told them that the Pony Express is going out of business, and it looks like everyone's out of a job. Swansea's not surprised in the least. Anya is distraught as she has no savings and needed the money to get into medical school. Daisuke's oddly quiet, and Jimmy lashes out at everyone just because he's a dick.
I can go back to my, how'd you put it, struggle of a life? Anya never got into medical school because she's, well, let's be real. And how many employment years Swansea got left in him? Daisuke will be fine. Mommy and Daddy have him covered, so there's that at least. But you, headed for bigger and better, right?
Jimmy believes Curly set them all up, and the crew seems to agree. Well, I guess that means there's only one thing left to do.
Let's have some fucking cake,
We grab the knife and add it to the empty, dark void of our soul, inventory, using it to slowly cut the cake in half before glitching to 3 months after the crash. We're Jimmy again. Boo! Waking up to the sounds of Curly's pain reverberating through the steel halls of the Tulpar. We don't know if he's had his pain meds yet, but I assume he didn't. So we go in search of Anya and find her in the cockpit talking to Swansea. Anya starts to cry, and then Jimmy starts to berate her for it. But despite his namesake, doesn't pry any further. He instead gets all pissed that Anya wants him to feed Curly his meds again, and just goes full Jack Torrance.
Fine, we're gonna make a new rule. Whenever I'm in the med lab and you hear me shoving pills down Curly's throat, or whether you don't hear me shoving pills down his throat, or whatever the fuck you hear me doing, that means that I am working. That means don't come in.
All right, that last one wasn't canon. I just wanted James to do his Jack Nicholson impression. That was pretty good. We then leave Anya, Swansea, and his girlfriend Axine to give Curly his meds and slip on our paranoia shoes.
I know what everyone's thinking. The way they look at me. What could I even say? And then, what would she do?
We then turn off the lights in order to give Peyton Westlake his pills. Yeah, whoever's voice acting that deserves an Oscar, but there's no Oscars for voice acting, so meh. And that Oscar would go to audio designer and composer Martin Halden, who did all the voices, including Curly, Daisuke, and Polly.
Those are all just him recorded in a little shack, like screaming into the mic and stuff.
Speaking of Polly, they wanted that merry mare of a mascot to feel like it was pulling voice clips from random adverts. So Halden recorded all the words individually and then cut them into sentences in post.
I love working on Tulpar. It means I have a lot of friends.
On the way out, we glitch back to Tekka Ioni where Curly is waiting to share his one thing, along with some subpar cake.
So all I can do is try and make my life one I'm not trying to run from all the time. Sometimes I'll be promoted, buy a house, fall in love. But other times, I'll just have some awful fucking cake with my friend.
Wow, okay, yeah, I feel special. Guess we'll go find a knife to cut the— Oh, Polly, no! What have you done to my boy? Oh, I need your advice. Tell me where the knife is, Polly. Tell me! He doesn't, so we wander the ever-darkening corridors filled with piles and piles of mouthwash, with only our echoey footsteps to keep us company. The creation of the footstep audio was incredibly important to the team at Wrong Organ because they knew the player would be hearing it a lot in the game. And then they, quote, started with the basics, a shoe hitting a surface, and then layer in secondary sounds like shoelaces, fabric movement, or even a jacket rustling. They then made 15 variations that got randomly overlaid in the game. These details may seem minor, but they make the game world feel more real and immersive. We reach the cockpit where it looks like someone had a little accident. You get it? Yeah. Someone was probably killed. But with no real evidence or a kill graphic, we grab the axe and— oh God! Oh, what is that, a Rastafari?
Nobody move. Nobody get hurt.
We ignore its request and head back to the common room as fun party music grows in volume, giving us hope that everything's gonna be okay. Well, that's fucking chilling. The eye watches us from the broken screen as Curly is now laid on the table with a red highlight. Oh no, that's not good. Yeah, I don't want to do this. Can I choose to do nothing? Maybe just live out the rest of my life in this room? Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll just stay here for the rest of my life. There's no need to kill a paraplegic man, right?
Actually, you're on the clock, so axe his ass.
You're the boss! Thankfully, when we click, the game glitches, sending us 4 months after the crash.
It doesn't matter, you crashed and will soon lose your life. Dragon breath can end your strife. You can just relax and dance with your ex and forget you'll never see your wife. Dragon breath has fire, freshness. Forget YouTube standards and go ahead and use that knife.
Dragon Breath, the responsibility taker.
In the med bay, we play with Curly's jaw for a bit.
This is so disrespectful.
And see that we're out of pain meds. Across the hall in the common room, we find Swansea having a little dance party.
Away you!
Okay, well, we leave the fresh-breathed inebriac to find that, oh no, Polly's death wasn't a dream! Oh, say something! Damn, at this point, we won't be able to even re-gift this horse in his mouth. Not even a Jack Waltz. We interrupt Anya contemplating drinking her pain away to find out there's more medicine behind some of the emergency foam. We just need something to cut it with. Well, better ask our cutting expert, who's currently cutting a rug. I mean, honestly, Swansea dancing is probably my favorite thing in this game of really great things. And some really terrible ones that we're gonna get to. Gut punch. I mean, come on, just look at this guy.
Jimbo El Capitano, the man with the plan.
And the fact that Swansea actually gives Jimmy a nickname shows that he doesn't really respect him and mocks Jimmy's ability to actually be a captain. Even so, we ask for the axe, but he doesn't want to give it up. But when Swansea believes we're gonna use the pills to... he's more than happy to give us the axe. By shattering the screen, and most likely the hope of anyone here being able to ride off into the sunset. We take the axe and leave Swansea to think about his favorite Christopher Lloyd movie.
Ha! Back to the Future. You know the one where the guy wants to kiss his mom? That's so relatable. Was that? No, you said you wanted to kiss your mom. Yeah.
We head into the hall and exterminate the foam and grab some isopropyl alcohol and more painkillers. All right, I guess we're going back to getting scared shitless by underestimating the sneakiness of Anya. Ooh, you. She gives us some more light praise before asking us to give Curly his meds again.
It still just makes me so nauseous.
I didn't say anything.
You were thinking it.
Yeah, I know. Jimmy, of course, gets pissed, but an inserted responsibility screen convinces him to take care of it. Of course, his version of taking responsibility means further verbal abuse towards Anya.
It's find the code scanner, then figure out the door code, get the axe, chop up the foam, but not too much, and best of all, give Curly his fucking medicine!
Okay, I hate that Jimmy is such an asshole, but I do love that the team at Wrong Organ used the mission text to also echo Jimmy's diatribe. It's a super clever way of subverting game mechanics and using them instead as storytelling devices. Anya uses her ghost powers to disappear from this situation, and we go to give Curly his meds. Again. Jimmy repeats a phrase Anya said earlier.
Our worst moments don't make us monsters, huh?
Alluding to something Jimmy may have done in the past. Maybe he shot John G. Or was it James G? Oh, let me check my notes. Return memento to Blockbuster. Well, it's very too late for that. Jimmy promises to make Curly a good captain again, and then shoves more pills down his throat. Oh God, how does crying work without eyelids? Can't blink away the tears. We glitch away to a new section titled 6 Hours Until Judgment. We're Jimmy again. Boo! But in the cockpit this time, with Swansea trying to break down the door. Okay, well, I guess we can act like a good D&D'er and grab some rope. And also there's a Samara snowball in our inventory that not even the game can identify. We grab a metal pipe to defend ourselves.
Here's Swansea!
And his friend Glitchy, who jumps us 2 days before the crash. We get a much needed moment of peace as Curly and Anya chat by the circadian rhythm visualizer's nighttime screen.
If you look really, really close, you can see there's a dead pixel in the upper right corner.
Ooh, hope you bought the protection plan. And speaking of protection, Anya asks Curly why there's a lock on the medical room, but not on the sleeping quarters. Another flash frame tells us it's for safety, but her concern and the fact that she spends all night watching this nighttime screen instead of being in her sleeping quarters makes us wonder if something more is going on. Maybe she, oh no, don't transition us now. Ah, damn it. We're Jimmy again. 5 months after the crash. A freaked out Daisuke takes us to the medical room where Anya has locked herself in.
I always believed that our worst moments didn't define us, didn't make us beyond repair. You think I wanted this either? Make no mistake, this isn't my worst moment. Far from it. It's the best decision I'll ever make.
Open the door, Anya.
I'll take care of it.
Realizing Anya's in the room with Curly, Jimmy and Daisuke are afraid of what she might do to him. So we head to the utility room to try and access that broken hatchway that leads up there. Unfortunately, Swansea's guarding the door and won't let us in.
Letting you scratch at that foam wall would be useless. You only tear this goddamn ship a new asshole, you axhole.
With no hope of getting into the utility room, we're glitched to 8 hours until judgment. Whoa, hey, spoilers! Daisuke's injured now? And Swansea tells us to use the isopropyl alcohol we found neath the foam, but Jimmy just kind of mumbles something about using it in a cocktail? Oh, come on, man, that's not very of you. So we're tasked with finding an alternate disinfectant. We search the countless corridors until we find a tombstone with no cheese or pepperoni. Just a flower, specifically a pink hibiscus, the same kind seen on Daisuke's shirt, which is an appropriate adornment for him as it symbolizes friendship, love, and beauty. But the only symbol Jimmy cares about is this one for the code scanner. The black light reveals a blood trail that leads to an MC Escher-esque room of dimly lit shapes and stairwells. Oh, nice place you got here, Jareth. Is that Toby? And we're on these stairs longer than Cloud Strife, and it actually starts to look like we're going up instead of down. And perhaps this is a callback to Wrong Organ's first game, How Fish Is Made, a game all about the illusion of choice, where all you do is decide to go up or down, all while still getting to the same destination. And in our case, it's a catwalk, where we hear a horrible screeching sound. Running around with our scanner, we see an ocean of boxes that wave at us before revealing a ghostly purple entity that attacks us and resets our progress with a warning to be quiet. So does that count as a player death?
What is death but a new beginning?
Okay, totally did not answer my question. Why are you deaf, Ben? Well, I guess since player death is basically a reset, I'll count this one. Mostly because I haven't counted shit thus far. A note tells us we're being chased by a blind beast and we can't run from it. But Jimmy loves to run from his problems. And we are attacked and killed again. But this time we can see it's a pony who expressly delivered us back to the start of this section. After a couple more resets, you be quiet! We finally take the game's advice and quietly follow the blood trail until we find Polly holding mouthwash with a red highlight. Oh, that's never a good sign. We take it and are told to take care of it. I will, and I will raise them as if they were my own. Now you go play with your brother Phoenix. Oh, look at them playing. Oh, he's drinking him. We're back in the common room and use the mouthwash on Daisuke, which doesn't go well. The screams then jump us back to 5 months after the crash. And with Swan sealing us out of the utility room, Jimmy casually suggests that we roofie him. He assures Daisuke that Swansea will be fine, leading me to believe he's done this before. But with seemingly no other option, Daisuke agrees to drug his mentor and swipe his keys.
This kind of feels like a heist movie.
Yeah, it does. Let's do this! Come on! Okay, first we need to get a lay of the joint by endlessly wandering aimlessly through dank corridors. Then, we need to get the blueprints for the mocktail located in the no security broom.
Did you say broom?
Shut up. After a moment of silence for Polly, it's time to assemble our crew. There's Icy Al, the isopropyl alcohol. Jimmy the scumbag, you son of a bitch. I'm in. And Mouthy Dragon's Breath Washerton. Jimmy the piece of shit who's abusive to women and possibly a sexual predator to boot. Hey, I'm retired, man. But you know I can't say no to one last score. You son of a bitch, I'm in. With our crew assembled, we then put them in the food processor. Combining them into a plain mocktail not even Swansea would drink. That's when we pull out our secret weapon. Generic sweetener, tucked away in Daisuke's bed, where we hope to God he didn't have sex with it.
Oh, he did. oh God! Oh, tell Daisuke to get checked for sugar herpes!
And bada bing, bada boom, we now have the perfect cocktail I like to call Danger Diabolicious. What do you think, Daisuke?
That drink looks sick! I could totally picture myself on a beach with a hot babe and a few of those. Then I'd drink too many of them and throw up all over myself and never be able to drink them again. Oh, good times.
Oh, Daisuke, I love you. We give the cocktail to Swansea, who is more than happy to drink it. The game then blacks out with him, and when it comes to, we swipe Swansea's key and let Daisuke know that it's totally cool, we just roofied an old man. Taking a moment to make sure there's no kill graphic. Nope, we're good. We enter the utility room to discover it's barely foamed up at all, and one of the cryostasis pods is fully working.
That boozed up bastard has been biding his time until he can save himself.
Looks like Swansea was planning to freeze himself for 20 years to have a better chance of being rescued by the Pony Express, leaving the rest of the crew to die. But we can deal with that later. Right now, Daisuke, get in that vent. Oh, come on. Trust your self-proclaimed captain. I mean, would an indie game developer ever purposely put us in the shoes of a character that was not trustworthy? Just get in the damn vent! He does, and is immediately injured. But is still able to make it into the medical room and find Anya.
Anya? What did you do?
We glitch back to one day before the crash, where the text god has given us a mission that is pretty freaking ominous. Well, guess we better start looking for a gun.
Defibrillator, radio, future bed. Oh, wait, future bed? Nah, never mind.
Well, no gun here, so we go down to the cockpit where we find, Anya crying. Curly's afraid Anya took the gun, planning to use it in a way that would get this video demonetized real quick. But she assures Curly that it's still in a security case, but she has hidden it. Just like she's hidden this little piece of information.
I'm pregnant.
Oh, that's why she's been so nauseous.
Nauseated.
What the fuck? Curly asks who the father is, but Anya says he should already know. Curly replies by saying he can fix this, but Anya has her doubts, having specifically hidden the gun so the mysterious he won't be able to get to it. And with no red sweater to reveal who the father is, we glitch forward to 6 hours until judgment. The mouthwash disinfectant isn't working on Daisuke. If only someone had listened to Anya earlier.
The sugar content probably offsets any potential as a disinfectant.
Swansea then tries to comfort Daisuke with some kind words.
I thought you were dumber than a can of paint.
Oh, wait, it gets nicer.
Useless ray of goddamn sunshine.
No, stick with me, I swear it gets better.
Just a damn good kid trying his best. You could have taught an old fool like me a lot.
See, finally Swansea has warmed up to Daisuke, and I think from this point forward, things are gonna be all right. Oh, he killed him. Oh, our first kill of the game is probably the most heartbreaking, as Daisuke, the intern who just wanted to enjoy life, was murdered after being manipulated by his captain into injuring himself and finally being put out of his misery by his mentor. Yeah, I got no jokes for this one. This just fucking sucks. Jimmy confronts Swansea, accusing him of talking to Anya about his plan to hide in the cryopod.
I sure did talk to Anya, but it was her telling me all sorts of things instead, wasn't it?
Implying that Jimmy is the father of Anya's baby. Now here's where things get very complicated, as there is a lot of evidence suggesting this pregnancy came from Anya being sexually assaulted by Jimmy. Seeds have been planted throughout the game, from his lewd sexual jokes, his verbally abusive manner towards her, Anya's preoccupation with locks on the sleeping quarters, and the fact that Jimmy was so comfortable having spiked a drink leads me to believe that he took advantage of Anya, and she may not have even been aware of what he was doing, until finally she found out she was pregnant, leading to her current breakdown. In fact, if you notice, Anya's bed is always made, suggesting she isn't sleeping in the common room with everyone else post-crash, instead opting to stay in the medical room where there is a door lock. And this also explains why our favorite Pokemon is Glaceon, who is able to defensively freeze its fur into sharp icicles even while it's asleep, stopping any would-be attackers like Jimmy's favorite Mega Rayquaza, who is capable of doing huge amounts of damage when it forces its opponents to sleep. Yeah, I don't feel comfortable referring to me and Jimmy as we anymore. In fact, narrative designer Johanna Kasurinen purposely put players in the role of a manipulative narcissist like Jimmy to find out what they might see of themselves in his character. Could they relate to his jealousy, his insecurity, self-pity, and aggressiveness? She wanted to write about the distressing, shameful, and contradictory parts of the self that she knew other people could identify with. And of course, this intention all leads back to the very first line of the game.
I hope this hurts.
As for the cryopod, Swansea doesn't care anymore. It's theorized that he was saving it for Daisuke and not himself. So now he tells the captain to get in the pod, because with his surrogate son gone, there's no point. Okay, well I guess Jimmy's next goal is to get the gun. Oh boy. Jimmy goes to ask Anya where she hid the gun, but that's going to prove impossible, since the now unlocked medical room reveals that Anya's idea to fix things was to... Which is understandable, as Anya was put in an impossible situation, doing her best to survive with the man that assaulted her. She placated him by telling him how amazing he was and what a great job he was doing, because she knew that if she made him feel weak or judged, he could become angry and potentially violent. In fact, if you notice, all of Jimmy's responsibilities/missions were suggested by Anya, using her psychological background to her advantage. Unfortunately, all the praise also fed Jimmy's narcissism, making him more dangerous and delusional. In addition, after learning that Swansea was planning to put Daisuke in the cryopod, she knew that Daisuke would want her to go in instead of him, which may have also fueled her choice to... I mean, if we can't laugh in these dark times, what do we have? Jimmy's able to find the gun case and unlock it with a code he randomly scanned earlier, revealing a toon gun. He then asks the bullets if they're feeling frisky tonight. Oh, I guess Curly's a Roger Rabbit fan. Oh, no, he's laughing at the fact that Jimmy's finally gonna get what he deserves when Swansea appears. Jimmy! This shining example of a cliffhanger glitches us back into Curly's soon-to-be amputated legs, since we're now 0 days before the crash. We find Anya, who says she told Jimmy about the pregnancy, and it didn't go well.
Curly, I don't want him in here anymore.
Still wanting to give his friend the benefit of the doubt, he goes to find Jimmy so he can explain himself. Curly believes that we truly aren't defined by our worst moments, and in some ways sees himself in Jimmy. He wants to believe Jimmy can change, because that means he could change too. Unfortunately, this means Curly ends up being an enabler, his character meant to show how situations can and do escalate to where people like him are defending perpetrators, or using their power to cover up for misbehaving friends, while still thinking they're doing a good and generous thing. We find Jimmy by the cockpit and tell him we can fix this. A flash frame to 99% kills begs to differ. Once the mission is over, Jimmy's career and life will be forever changed. And yet again, he refuses to take responsibility for his actions.
This was your responsibility, Captain.
Well, it is true that as the captain, the company will most likely hold him responsible for the actions of the crew under his watch. So Jimmy suggests an alternate outcome.
Despite what must have been the best efforts of its acclaimed captain, the Topar crew was never found.
Another responsibility flash takes us out of the first-person perspective to show us an unbandaged, double-eyed Curly, as Jimmy repeats his cement feet metaphor. Jimmy and Curly can either jump off the bridge into a new life dealing with the consequences of Jimmy having assaulted Anya, or they can crash the ship and go out with their reputations intact. Curly's inability once again to make a choice gives Jimmy the go-ahead to stay in his cement shoes and put them directly on the ship's accelerator.
I'll take care of it.
Emergency lights come on and we realize the error of our lack of decision, running to the cockpit. Oh, I hope I'm not too late. I'm gonna make sure no one makes a stooge out of this, Curly! We find Jimmy outside the cockpit, revealing we were actually in control of Jimmy during the opening scene, as we now see Curly rush into the cockpit right as the Tulper crashes. A dip to white transitions Curly to his current state, 1 hour before judgment. Jimmy is now holding Curly, as if he was V rescuing a Trauma Team Platinum member. Just, don't try jacking into him, okay, Jimmy? In some ways, Curly got what he wanted. He's completely free of having to make any choices, since now he can no longer physically do anything and relies on others to take care of him. Basically stuck with no feet in cement. Jimmy carries him to the room where the rest of the crew's corpses are posed. And I'm not gonna count Swansea at this point, because this feels like a hallucination, especially when Curly is put on the table and they all applaud. Well, looks like it's time to celebrate Jimmy's birthday, but where's the cake? Oh no, they want us to pick up the knife. Oh, the cake is a guy. The cake is a guy! Please let me leave. Please, I wanna leave. I wanna go. We can't, so I guess it's time to cut the cake. Very slowly and horrifyingly. Okay, who wants a corner piece? Jimmy waxes on about the corporate ladder and how he forgives the captain for getting everyone into this situation. Which is the situation you got him into, you fucking sociopath! He concludes by saying, "Let's eat." And I'm still of the mindset that this is all a delusion as we glitch to the next location called Take Responsibility. A now disheveled medical room garners a closer look at Swansea's Swan Key, which is appropriate for him, since swans are notoriously protective of their young, just like how Swansea was protective of Daisuke.
You were goddamn born fully corked.
Well, you know, when he wasn't insulting him. Jimmy dives into the vent, and I'll refrain from making any more Die Hard jokes as he crawls through and finds the little Daisuke. Aw, welcome to the party, pint-sized pal. Aw, damn it, I did a Die Hard joke. How's a comedian not supposed to see a vent and reference Die Hard? The movie ruined vents, and now I have to vent about that! A note at the end of the vent tells Jimmy there's no turning back now. Literally, as the game will reset you if you turn around. But I'm not counting this as a death, because nothing's killing you. Jimmy then walks backwards past a vignetted collection of Daisuke's belongings to remind Jimmy that he's the one who sent him to die in a vent just like this. Literally walking away from responsibility, Jimmy ends up back in the Tulpar tunnels that are now trying to defy gravity and succeeding. Landing him next to a tied-up Swansea and a gun, which he picks up and points at his crewmate. Oh, this scene is so stressful, as I do not even want to point a fake gun at an innocent man, and it's made even more unsettling by how quiet it is, with no dialogue or music and minimal sound effects. They even took out the low audible cassette tape hum and noise floor underlying every chapter of this game, designed to make the environment feel gritty and grimy, which was directly inspired by the sound design of 2022's Skinamarink. Just, you know, with actual interesting things happening on screen. So I guess if we can shoot him anywhere, why not the foot? Yeah, he'll survive that. What the? Is that a portal gun? Jimmy wanders around the New Orleans-style cemetery looking for some friends on the other side. You ain't got no friends, Jimmy. Keep moving until a kills graphic in the game resets us. Hey, we're the ones that do kill graphics here. Get your own bit. Jimmy returns to a shrine for Daisuke that he thinks about shooting, because, you know, he sucks, before wandering around and getting the kill screen again. Stop! Run that back. Okay. Play and stop. Enhance, enhance, enhance. Oh, too much. Go back. Aha, looks like Swansea is the one axing us to restart. Jimmy runs around the cement hedge maze trying to shoot Swansea before getting torrented 7 more times and taking out his frustrations on Daisuke's picture. Stop that, he's a nice boy. Jimmy's finally able to shoot Swansea out of the dream and into this depressing iPod commercial. Swansea then gives us an absolutely incredible speech as images from his life play out in the background. We learn he spent his youth drunk until he had a vision of death powered by 414 bolts of lightning. He then cleaned up, got sober, and started to chase the American dream.
Loving wife, great kids. I'm telling you, accomplishments I'd been chasing my whole life. Never felt as good as I expected when I crossed the finish line.
Swansea was never able to find joy in the present, always chasing milestones and unfulfilling achievements. Yay, I'm happy! Oh, nope, that dopamine is gone now. In fact, Daisuke's ability to live in the moment and find joy in any circumstance is probably one of the things Swansea admired and found incredibly aggravating. Realizing now that his drunk youth was the best time of his life, Swansea was finally able to find joy in the moment, dancing with his gal Axine. And though it may not have been the healthiest choice, it gave him a final moment of clarity and peace. And then Jimmy shoots him, putting an end to this lovable curmudgeon who was the only one who had the guts to stand up to Jimmy and his sociopathic ways. You know, when he wasn't resting his hands on said guts. We leave Swansea and our sanity behind as the Tulpar's halls give way to rapidly multiplying curly eyes on the walls. Okay, who decorated this place? Jinji Ito? Jimmy is then birthed from Curly's mouth, and he leaves the cave of wonders how I'll be able to sleep tonight to find regular-sized Curly, covered in valves. You know, he'll do anything to get on the Steam homepage. I better see if he's dead.
I'm alive. Please don't kill graphic me.
Cool, but I do notice Curly's leg is missing more than before. So I guess the cake cutting scene did happen, and Jimmy just kind of helped himself to some Curly thighs. Yeah, that's gross. The returning TV lets Jimmy know it's time to feast, but it doesn't mean him. It wants Curly to taste his own long pork. So one disgusting 7th guest style puzzle later that I got on my first try and took James and Chelsea a little longer to do.
God damn it, man.
And so Jimmy forces Curly to eat his own leg. Yep, there it is, going poopward bound. Oh, what an incredible journey. Curly broadcasts his feelings on the TV and shows us his little Jimmy. The game switches to a Resident Evil style perspective so Jimmy can do a little space strut.
I'm a monster, you know what I mean. And I'll do my little ship with a spacewalk. With a spacewalk. With a space.
Oh, hi, Curly. Curly tells Jimmy he wants to go home, but Jimmy says we are home. But Curly means he wants to go back to the life outside the ship and his role as captain. However, to Jimmy, the ship is the only good thing in his life, and he loves being in control as the captain. Curly then says Jimmy needs to finish what he started, all while owning up to what he's done.
I could have stopped it. I'm taking responsibility.
Jimmy breaks down, but again avoids taking responsibility.
What happened was an accident. We were trapped.
You crashed the ship! You assaulted Anya! You sent Daisuke to his death! You look stupid in your short sleeve overalls!
I'm sorry. I'm so fucking sorry, Curly.
Oh, that's what makes you finally break down? Me making fun of your fashion choices. Sure, whatever. Jimmy's sent back to the sponsatility vents to, oh God, is that a giant vagina? And an ultrasound machine? Oh goody, looks like I have to scan this TerrorVision concept art for babies. Oh, no, twitchy horse babies. Oh, and what's happening? Okay, oh, it's opening up. And actually from this angle, it kind of looks like Admiral Akbar. It's a trap. Oh no, it's a crapping, oh, it's a thing. Oh, I don't like it, it hurts. It hurts so much. Jimmy's thrown back in the vents and finds the low polypede just kinda, sitting there. Hey buddy, are you?
Mouthwashing is very much more the psychological horror, less so like jump scares.
I will slap you, sir. The polypede then runs away to, oh wait, there it is. Maybe this time we don't.
Mouthwashing is very much more the...
I warned you. The Inhuman Centaurpede ends up resetting or killing us or whatever 2 times before Jimmy is dropped back into a hall full of IDs. Oh God, did we end up in Vulcanvania? I don't want to see that penis-nosed judge. The IDs eventually expire, yielding a staircase with a lot of empty mouthwash bottles tumbling down it. Oh, Swansea, you need to slow down, man.
No, I don't. I'm dead.
That was an accident, Swansea.
No, it fucking wasn't!
At the top of the stairs, it looks like it's time to face the music. It's time to light the lights. It's time to end this game with Polly Pony Tonight. Polly taunts Jimmy before saying,
Polly says,
and Jimmy finally admits that Curly is a better man than him. Hey, kids. You're both awful. Jimmy believes he can still fix things, calling back to Uncle Banya's motto.
Our worst moments don't make us.
But Polly cuts him off, wondering why Jimmy is so concerned with Curly. And personally, I believe it's because Jimmy sticks with Curly to be good by association, not by his own deeds. And so he believes that saving Curly will redeem his worst moments. Yeah, no, you're still a monster. We glitch to 0 hours before judgment. Drop the 0 hours before. Just judgment. It's cleaner. Where the fuck am I going? Jimmy picks up Curly and carries him one last time through the Tulpar's dimly lit halls, somehow opening doors with his very full hands. He arrives at the utility room and puts Curly into the only working cryopod.
No one can hurt you now. We fixed it. I fixed it.
And with that, Jimmy leaves in order to... And I'll take my responsibility to add him to the count. Okay, I really hate that this narcissistic bastard died off screen, but thankfully, YouTuber Joe Tastic gave us a more satisfying end to this scumbag. Yeah, I feel better. How about you, Curly? Oh, no, looks like you're being frozen into a 20-year ice hell worse than death. You know, if John Spartan is to be believed. And so Curly is set up for a future search for his baby Sean through a post-apocalyptic Commonwealth. And the game finally ends with one last choice to follow us or quit. I'm gonna quit. You know, just to kind of take stock of all the choices I've made in my life. I need a shot of mouthwash. How many people in their mouths got washed onto the count? Let's find out and get to the numbers.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much, guys. I can't believe that you used our one communal birthday that James gives us to celebrate me.
Yeah, well, we wanted to celebrate your new role as Mr. Kill Count Games.
Thank you.
It's time to cut the cake.
Oh. Okay, that's weird, but all right.
Make a wish.
My wish came true. During our time slowly going insane aboard the Tulpar, I counted 4 kills, 3 male and 1 female, giving us a blue-tasting pie seen previously in Leprechaun, The Witch, and A Quiet Place, to name a few. As for player deaths, there were 15 of those, even though most of those were just dumb text flashes that reset us. During our time slowly going insane on the Tulpar, I counted 4 kills, 3... Whoa, hold on. Oh, God. Stupid thing reset me! During our time slowly going insane on the Tulpar with this glorious game, huh? We had 15 player deaths, and rest assured on my next playthrough, I'm gonna let Jimmy die a whole lot more. With a playtime of 3 hours and 36 minutes, that gave us a player death on average every 16.6 minutes, and a kill on average every 54 minutes. Please don't reset me again. I'll give the Golden Chainsaw for coolest kill to Dice Game. I mean, it's hard to say that any of these kills were cool, but this one was beautifully orchestrated and absolutely heart-wrenching. Maybe didn't need to see the shot of the axe in his face later, but you know, what you gonna do? Dull Machete for lamest kill goes to Jimmy, mainly because his death was off screen, and I really wanted to see that guy suffer for everything he did. Joe-tastic, feed my fix.
Are you working, Kyle? Are you working?
Yeah, beat him dead, you horse. And the Royal Reload for best player death goes to, I guess, Swansea giving us the axe? I mean, it's the only one that feels like we're actually killed, and if we'd let him kill us 10 times, it would have unlocked the good ending achievement. But we didn't, so we're stuck with Jimmy just... And that's it. Mouthwashing came out last year and stands as a beacon of complex storytelling that uplifts the horror game genre and will hopefully continue to spark debates as well as Swansea fan art for years to come. Next month, I'll be leaving this depressing game behind for the joy-filled world of The Last of Us. I mean, I haven't played it yet. I assume it's joy-filled, right? But until then, I'm a man who was once on a fake cover of Muppet Magazine with his brother. This has been the Kill Count.
On the next Kill Count.
Every day, thousands of Americans struggle with the effects of aging.
We need her young. We need her hot.
Are you or someone you know feeling weak, tired, or unwanted?
Can you confirm this?
Do you just want to feel like you're worth something again?
You're still the most beautiful girl in the whole wide world.
If so, you or your loved one might be right for
The Substance.
The Substance is an Oscar-nominated treatment plan from French filmmaker Coralie Farget.
Always great to see you.
This simple procedure can be done from the comfort of your home and will leave you looking younger than ever before.
They want more and more and more of you.
The Substance is not for everyone. Call your doctor if you experience dizziness, vomiting, or have unusual changes in behavior. Side effects may include headaches, nausea, self-loathing, binge eating, internal bleeding, external bleeding, and...
I want to stop! I want to fucking stop!
Well, too bad.
You can't escape from yourself.
So this week, ask your healthcare provider about The Substance.
You got it!
Then on Friday, respect the balance by watching The Kill Count, only on Dead Meat.
Take care of yourself.
The Substance can currently be watched on the pictured streaming platforms. Dead Meat always recommends you watch the movie for yourself before its kill count. It's the only way to have your own properly informed opinion. Kill counts are never meant to replace the experience of watching a film.
And there's Mouthwashing. I hope everyone is happy. I mean, I'm happy because the game is so good, but it deals with heavy shit and really, I was trying to take a break and do a shorter kill count, and then I played, oh, this is, 3.5 hours, I'll do that. So much more complicated than just counting bodies in the dark. I love this game, and I want to thank Wrong Organ, the entire team. And since there's only a few of them, I'm just gonna say all their names now. Jeffrey Tomek, Johanna Kasurinen, Martin Halden, Kai Moore, Daniel Vitelli, Dave Van Egdom, Yasmin Lindberger, and Tanakam Ratanala Orange. Fucked that one up pretty bad, but I love you. I have a weird name. I'm sorry. I couldn't find any interviews with you to be able to figure out how your name is said, but please message me and tell me. Thank you to James and Chelsea for lending their voices. Thank you to my voice for allowing me to do slightly different voices for all the characters. So yeah, thank you for all the amazing comments on all the video game kill counts so far. We're gonna keep going with these things. I wouldn't be able to do it without the Dead Meat team. You're all amazing. I thank you so much. Their credits are over here or over here. They're somewhere. Thanks for watching, and as always, remember,